Good morning and happy Saturday. I'm KHOU Meteorologist Chris Ramirez for your Easter weekend forecast. We're expecting cloudy skies here across Houston for today, but we're also tracking some rain chances on the way as this upper level low pressure system is slowly moving into Texas, and we're actually already starting to see some storms out of this system, especially out in central Texas. So here's that low that's currently spinning over the panhandle. You're able to see that frontal boundary that's stretching all the way from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way to near Del Rio. So as we look at Houston, no rain on radar right now over the Houston area, but that's not the case. If you are planning to make those travel plans or you're planning to head out of town today to make your destination across the state, just keep in mind that there is some storms just to the northwest of the I-35 corridor. There is some lightning with these storms, and there is some showers now going through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There was some pretty frequent lightning out in the Fort Worth area just south of there, but the weather pattern across the state is starting to become unsettled as we go into the rest of today and into tomorrow. So if you're heading along I-10, maybe towards Austin, maybe towards San Angelo, Sonora, which is just on the way to El Paso, there's some strong storms out in portions of the rural areas. I think that's near Brady, Texas, which is, or actually near Llano County right there. You're seeing some strong storm activity. This was severe warned. That, of course, has weakened, and we are still seeing it, some frequent lightning with that storm, but that is actually headed towards Stephenville and Pottsville. So this is kind of giving you a snapshot of how the weather pattern is going to shape up as this frontal boundary continues tracking across the state of Texas. So this is going to continue slowly moving towards central Texas and towards the Houston area as we head into tomorrow. But as we look at the progression of this system, this frontal boundary expecting to make it into our neck of the woods by tomorrow. And we will see that frontal boundary sort of stall over southeast Texas. And that's going to keep rain chances in the forecast for us here across Houston for the latter half of Easter Sunday afternoon. So starting between maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock is when we're going to start seeing some of those storms start popping off here across the Houston area. And that eventually is going to stretch all the way south to the Rio Grande Valley. So a pretty wet outlook expected. So as we look at our future track, mostly dry conditions for today. We're expecting it to be mostly just warm, very humid, very breezy conditions. Also keep in mind that if you are heading to Galveston, these breezy conditions is churning up those seas, and there's going to be a high rip current risk for all of our coastal areas, especially all Galveston beaches for today. That's going to last into tomorrow. So be extra cautious for the young ones and the children going out into the water because there is that high rip current risk. But future track, mostly cloudy today. Showers will start moving in tomorrow morning. If you have those outdoor Easter plans for tomorrow, you might want to just have a plan B and just take them indoors because we're going to start seeing these isolated showers start moving in by tomorrow morning. Eventually, as we get closer towards maybe between 5 and 6 o'clock, we're going to start seeing that frontal boundary where those storms were popping off. That's going to start moving in closer towards the Houston area. And what's really kind of concerning is that this could actually stall across our area. Weather models, take a look at that time. 6 o'clock tomorrow evening keeps that batch of rain there at least until 10 o'clock tomorrow night and then lasting through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it could be likely that we could be seeing some isolated areas that could be looking at some torrential rain for tomorrow into Monday, going into the start of next week. So right now for today, the Storm Prediction Center, including portions along the I-20 corridor from Dallas-Fort Worth to Abilene under a enhanced risk for severe weather. This is where you could see more of that high potential for tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, dangerous lightning for today. However, going into tomorrow, so if you're heading off towards maybe Del Rio, San Antonio for today, that's where that severe weather risk is going to be in place for the rest of this afternoon. And then tomorrow, that severe weather risk will start shifting off towards the east, towards the extreme northeastern portions of Texas. However, there are including portions of our counties under that marginal risk for severe weather. That's a 1 out of 5, which basically means that we could get some isolated strong storms tomorrow afternoon from Houston to Conroe, Huntsville, Livingston, Liberty, Brenham, College Station, even Bryan could be looking at more of those stronger storms in the latter half of tomorrow. So rain chances, and in terms of accumulation, more of the heavier rain chances expected. Maybe northern Harris County, we could see between 1 to 2 inches of rain in some locations, even off towards portions of near I-10 going off towards Beaumont. So if you are planning to travel across the area, it might be a good idea to get that out of the way now before you wait too late in the afternoon for today, because that frontal boundary is on the way. We're already starting to see those storms moving in across portions of west central Texas, which is around San Angelo, near Brady, Llano County, which is in the rural areas out there. Live look right now, a bit cloudy, 75 degrees at Bush Airport, Galveston 75, Brenham 71, Tomball 73, Pearland at 75 degrees. So very muggy, humid day expected, high temps topping out in the lower 80s. Wind speeds gusting up to 20-25 miles an hour. And just keep in mind that as we head into today, high temps are just going to be warm, muggy, breezy, 86 for a high, a little bit on the cooler side for Galveston. But like I said, we cannot stress the importance for you to heed those rip current warnings that are in place for areas along the coast from Galveston Beach all the way going towards Port Lavaca as well as Matagorda. So tonight's forecast, lows dropping into the 70s, mostly cloudy skies are expected. So our official Easter forecast for us here across Houston, high of about 86, maybe 85 degrees. On and off scattered storms, but that rain chance is going to start increasing for the afternoon hours for tomorrow. So if you have those Easter egg hunts planned, maybe if you're planning to do a backyard barbecue, or maybe if you're going to wait in the early morning hours at the park for that coveted gazebo, you might want to just keep in mind that rain chances will be in the forecast and might just need to have a plan B to have those indoors as this low pressure system continues tracking across the south central U.S. and across Texas. So as that moves off towards the northeast, we're going to start seeing this southern dip of the jet stream. And that's going to continue bringing several disturbances our way heading into next week. So therefore, the weather pattern expected to remain unsettled from Monday, lasting through much of the work week. So rain chances are not going to be going away anytime soon after tomorrow. We're going to remain unsettled. We're expecting some scattered showers and storms. We could be looking at some possible strong storms on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that we're looking at, just to kind of give you a heads up, put it in the back of your mind that if you have those outdoor plans or if you're planning to head off to work or school in the morning hours, Wednesday's looking like the day that we could see more of a increased risk for those stronger storms. A little bit too early to tell whether or not we're going to see severe conditions on that day. We have not issued a weather impact alert for Wednesday as of now, but we're tracking that, and there is a good potential that we could be looking at some possible strong storms for Wednesday. And this unsettled weather pattern lasting through Thursday and into Friday. So hit or miss storms expected. It's going to be a rainy week all across the Lone Star State starting on Sunday, which is really good news for folks out in central Texas because they're dealing with extreme drought. They really do need the rain. We're not dealing with drought here in the Houston area, but we just hope that we don't get a lot of rain in a little amount of time because that usually creates some flooding concerns. And tomorrow, we're going to have to watch that really closely when it comes to this stalled front that's just not really going to go anywhere for tomorrow and into Monday. The Climate Prediction Center calling for above normal rain chances from April 25th to April 29th. That's kind of giving us a hint that we could be ending the month on a fairly wet note here across the Lone Star State. And also we're looking at more warmer than average temperatures. Average highs for this time of year usually around 81 degrees or maybe 80 degrees. And we're going to see those high temps in the upper 80s for today and into tomorrow. 82 for Monday, Tuesday 84, 82 for Wednesday, and then Thursday, just kind of giving you, remember what I said after tomorrow, rain chances not going away anytime soon for much of the week. We're just going to remain unsettled, but Wednesday is the day that we're going to be looking at for next week, that we could be seeing some hints of some instability across southeast Texas that could bring some possible stronger storms. Not a severe risk as of now, and we're not issuing a weather impact alert for that day yet, but just keep in mind that we could be looking at Wednesday as another day to really keep an eye on for next week. So if you're just now joining our live stream, I am talking about the travel forecast. And if you are heading out of town today, if you have those travel plans, hey, you can always just take this live stream with you on your phone on the KHOU 11 app. And just keep in mind that we're tracking this low pressure system moving into the panhandle. If you have those travel plans, Maybe if you're heading to Dallas, there is some showers now moving out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There was some lightning and some storms, no severe weather as of now. So I-45, that's a common route that people take to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Not seeing much of anything along 45. You won't really see those rain chances start increasing, or that rain coverage, until you get into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. If you are maybe you're heading towards Austin, you're taking 290. Whether you're taking 290 or you're taking I-10, we're seeing mostly clear conditions right now. But just keep in mind that if you are heading to the Austin area, there is some strong storms to the northwest of Austin. They've just issued a severe thunderstorm warning right now for San Saba County, and that's has 60-mile-an-hour winds, some pretty large hail, about an inch and a quarter width of hail for this storm that's right now over San Saba. So that's kind of giving you a hint of what we're expecting to see as this cold front moves through. If you're heading to maybe San Antonio, San Antonio's looking mostly clear and dry as of now, but storms not too far away along I-10. If you're heading to I-10, going along I-10, maybe towards El Paso, if you're going to make that 12-hour drive, keep in mind that you're going to run into some storms, into some unsettled weather from Junction to Sonora, just towards Sheffield. And then once you head west of Sheffield, you're going to be in the clear, as things are going to be mostly dry across our area. A lot of folks have family in the Valley. I know I've worked in the Valley. That was my previous job at one of the news affiliates down there. Mostly clear conditions all the way to the Valley, even towards Corpus Christi. You're not expecting any rain right now for today. But like I said, as this frontal boundary, you're able to really kind of just see where this front is. That's where the storms are. That's that's where we're seeing those storms right now. And that's going to continue tracking closer towards the Houston area as we head into tomorrow. And that's going to give us our rain chance for Easter Sunday across our area for the most part. So like I said, looking at the future track just one more time, I know folks are just now joining this live stream. We're tracking this frontal boundary that's going to sweep across the state. The thing that we're really going to have to pay close attention to is the fact that this front is expected to stall over southeast Texas tomorrow, and that's going to keep that rain chance there for tomorrow afternoon, lasting into Monday morning. And so as we look at our future track in terms of more of a hyper-local view, mostly clear, mostly just cloudy. We're going to start seeing those showers move in tonight, and then we're going to start tomorrow with those isolated showers. And then as we head into Sunday afternoon, that's when we could start seeing the flaring up of those stronger storms and some isolated heavy downpours. And the thing to note here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Pay attention to that time. 6:30 is the time that this could be starting. And as we kind of take this closer towards maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that rain is not going anywhere. And that's going to remain in place at least through Monday. And that's kind of why that's kind of a sign that that front is still going to remain stalled, and we could be looking at more storms into Monday morning. So if we get that much rain in a little amount of time, especially for that long of time, we could be looking at some possible flooding concerns for northern Harris County. We are in a transitional period here across Texas in terms of the spring season. I know weather models and the weather conditions when it comes to spring season usually sometimes is very fickle. Usually you see a lot of it could throw curveballs at you, and we usually see that with the weather models as well. Sometimes weather models show that a lot's going to happen in one given time, but then sometimes it sort of just disappears. And so we're in that period, that little gray area where weather models not performing too well, but this is one of the better performing weather models that we have in-house, and that really is kind of showing the signs. We've been seeing this for the past few days, that frontal boundary is expected to stall over South Texas, and if it does, that's really that sign that we could be looking at some heavy rain for northern Harris County, stretching as far north to Livingston. Huntsville, Livingston, Liberty, Woodlands, North Houston, likely to see some stronger storms tomorrow afternoon. So it's important to note to maybe just have a plan B when it comes to having those Easter activities. I know a lot of folks love to have Easters outside, but it's looking tomorrow is going to be a wet one. Maybe have it earlier in the day if you have that, because we are expecting mostly cloudy skies and showers in the first half of our day. We're not expecting those showers and storms to really start flaring up, at least into the warmer parts of the day between 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. That's when we could see more of those stronger storms, and that definitely could see some heavy rain and some stronger storms from North Houston, northern Harris County, and all areas north. 7-day forecast, highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s and 70s. Scattered storms expected to remain in the picture starting tomorrow, however. Rain chances all across the board for next work week. Weather pattern remaining very unsettled for us here across Southeast Texas. And as always, we are tracking the latest information and giving you the latest weather updates. This is sort of a behind the scenes type view of what we're looking at right now. This is more of an extended view and an extended live stream. And we are going to give you the latest updates as soon as they become available in terms of the weather models and in terms of what we're expecting to see here across the Houston area. And as always, have a great rest of your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with the KHOU 11 weather team, and you can always stay up to date with the latest weather information on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app.